Long, long ago, Leopard lived on a hot, bare, sandy yellow plain in Africa. Giraffe and Zebra lived there too, along with lots of deer, big and small, young and old. The animals were sandy yellow all over, just like the plain itself. Leopard was sandy yellow too, which wasn't good for the rest of the animals because leopard was hard to spot on the sandy yellow plain. He could lie in wait in the sandy yellow grasses, then jump out, catch them, and eat them up whenever he wanted to. Giraffe and Zebra and the rest of the animals lived in fear. Leopard, however, was very happy and never hungry. After a while, Giraffe and Zebra and the others had had enough. They decided to move away from the sandy plain to find a better place to live. They walked and walked until they came to a huge forest where the sun shone through the trees, making stripy, speckly, patchy shadows and sections of spotty, stripy sunshine. The animals hid themselves there, and while they hid, partly in the sun, partly in the shadows, their skins changed color. Giraffe's skin became covered with big, brown, blotchy spots from the blotchy shadow he stood in, and Zebra's skin became covered with stripes from the stripy shadow he lay in. The other animals' skin became darker too, with wavy lines and patterns from the shadows around them. Back on the sandy plain, Leopard was puzzled. All the animals had disappeared, and he was starting to get hungry. "Where have they all gone?" he asked Baboon. "To the forest," said Baboon carelessly. "And they've changed. You need to change too." Leopard started to ask Baboon what she meant by change, but baby Baboon needed feeding, so she was too busy to explain. Leopard set out for the forest. He walked and walked, and at last he found it, but all he could see was tree trunks. They were speckled, spotted, dotted, and splashed with shadows. He couldn't see Giraffe or Zebra or any of the others, but he could smell them, so he knew they were there. Leopard lay down to wait. After a long, long time, something moved in the shadows, and a small deer trotted toward him. But sandy yellow leopard wasn't hidden in the leafy, green forest, so the deer saw him at once and skipped away. All leopard could catch was its tail. "I'm too small to fill your belly," cried the deer. "Please let me go." The deer was right about that. It was tiny and thin and not really worth bothering about. But Leopard kept hold of its tail anyway. "What's happened to all the animals?" asked Leopard. "We've all changed," the deer replied. "Now our skins are speckly, spotty, dotty, and splashy, just like the shadows in the forest. You only caught me because I'm young. I should have been more careful." Leopard let the little deer go and sat down to think. "So that's why I can't see Giraffe and Zebra and the rest of them in the forest," he thought. "They've changed their skins to match the shadowy trees. If I'm going to catch them, do I need to change too? And how in the world can I do that?" As he sat there thinking, more deer walked through the trees. When they moved, Leopard could see them clearly. When they stopped moving, they were hidden by the shadows. Leopard was easy to spot with his sandy yellow skin, so the deer didn't come too close. Leopard sat in the shadows a long, long time and licked his paws thoughtfully. Soon he began to notice something odd. His paws weren't sandy yellow anymore. They had small dark spots on them. And there were spots on his tail too. Leopard looked around and realized that the spots on his skin matched the small dark patches of shadow he was laying in. Aha, he thought. The shadows have made these spots just in the time that I've been lying here. That's how I can change my skin, just like Giraffe and Zebra and the rest of them. By this time, Leopard had grown tired from all the thinking and waiting, so he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. When he awoke a long, long time later, his skin was completely covered with small, dark spots made by the shadows of the forest. "Well, how wonderful," he said, looking at his new skin. "Now my skin is no longer sandy yellow brownish. I can hide in the leafy green forest so that Giraffe and Zebra and the rest of them can't see me. Then, when they come close, I can leap out to catch them and eat them up." With that, the spotty leopard set off into the speckly, blotchy, stripy shade of the deep forest, where he lived happily ever after, eating and sleeping and not being spotted. And the other animals learned to hide from him as best as they could, too. The end.